If you guys are looking for a build that can instantly clear out ads and deal a high amount of damage, this is the build for you. For my playstyle, since I am a Titan Bane, I need builds that I'm able to spam all my abilities consecutively, and this build gives me just that. We're going to be combining Heart of Animals Light with the Arc 3.0 subclass, with an Arc weapon, combined with Spark of Discharge. Spark of Discharge is going to allow us to spawn Ionic Traces from my Arc final blows. And as you see in the gameplay in the back, going into your GM setup, I know you guys LFG a lot, but if you can actually get a good fire team together, you should try to have at least 2 players to control the ads and then 1 player to deal the maximum amount of damage. I was running the GM this morning with a couple of my friends, and we were testing out different kind of setups, and everybody was running a bruiser build, sort of like my Titan bruiser build that I'm showing you guys today. And since we were able to put out a lot of damage, but we weren't able to control all the ads, we weren't able to complete it until we switched up our gameplay. So going into the GM, some of the best combinations to run will be like 2 Strand Titans and then a regular Arc 3.0 Titan to deal heavy amounts of damage. So this is what this build is going to focus on. We're going to focus on dealing a lot of damage, not really controlling the ads, but if the ads pop up, we're the person that's going to deal the most amount of damage and able to clear them out instantly. Let me talk about the weapon setup before we jump inside of the mods. The weapon setup will consist of a blinding grenade launcher and cold heart, and then we're going to combine that with commemoration, which you can pick up from the Deep Sun Crypt. Deep Sun Crypt will be on rotation next week, so please go farm the last boss and get a crafted commemoration. But cold heart combined with a blinding grenade launcher with Heart of Animals Light gives you the perfect ad clear capabilities. You're able to blind all the targets, and when you get final blows with your cold heart, because of Spark of Discharge, you will now be able to spawn Ionic Traces, and those Ionic Traces will just feed back into your grenade damage. Once you do use an ability by using Heart of Animals Light, your grenade will now do 20% increased damage. And then when you get the ×2 buff by using Heart of Animals Light, your grenade will now deal an increase of 35% damage. Now this is a lot of damage, and pulse grenades in general just recharge very quickly once you do slap it down on a target. Pulse grenades do the same amount of damage as pre-nerf lightning storm grenades, so they do a lot of damage. The only bad part about it is that pulse grenades do not track and they stay stagnant, so you're gonna have to actually place it down at a target and realize where you're throwing your pulse grenades. But as you see, when I'm shooting the balls, once we do get the boss in the corner in the Battlegrounds DM on Mars, I'm able to consecutively spam my pulse grenades within 30 seconds of each other, just because I'm using Spark of Discharge combined with Heart of Animals Light. And while it's pulsing on that target, I will be gaining my grenade back every single 30 seconds. It's a very quick spam, but let me take you guys on a tour of the bruiser build you're going to be using to clear out any ads in the game and deal high amounts of damage, so you guys can easily clear the GM like I did this morning. Let's jump straight into it. For the mod setup, we will be using all the mods we will be rocking are going to help us spawn orbs and just refund our grenade ability even faster. We're going to combine Arc Siphon with Void Siphon. Since we are using commemoration and cold heart, we need to be able to spawn ads anytime we do kill enemies. That's going to feed inside of our grenade. On our gauntlets, we will be using Firepower will spawn Orbs of Power once you get grenade final blows with your pulse grenades. Firepower is currently bugged, so if you don't see the orbs popping up, just wait for Bungie to fix it. But once Bungie does fix it, you will see Orbs of Power pop up. We are going to use Grenade Kickstart to combine with that, so anytime we do use our grenade and we have armor charge stacks, we will gain a certain percentage of that back. That's how we're consistently able to spam our abilities. On our chest piece, don't really worry too much about it. We're going to be just using our regular damage resist mod. Since GMs are the highest level content in the game, we need to be able to resist any incoming damage. The stats you want to be building into will be 100 resilience and 100 discipline, so you're able to consecutively spam grenades and tank a lot of damage with your 30% damage reduction. The exotic perk for Heart of Animals Light is Overflowing Light, and like I said, as soon as you get ×1, that is a 20% damage buff, ×2 is a 35% damage buff, and you do get an increase of 200% ability recharge rate. On our feet, we need Innervation, so anytime we pick up an Orb of Power, we're going to be granted Grenade Energy, and anytime we do pick up an Orb of Power, we're going to gain our health back. That's how I'm able to gain my health back and just bruise through all the enemies. We're going to blind them, kill them. Once we kill them, we're going to spawn an Orb of Power. You pick up that Orb of Power, that's how we're able to consistently regen our health. We have stacks on stacks, so anytime we pick up an Orb of Power, we're going to be granted 2 Orbs of Power. And since we only have a maximum stack of 3, just picking up 2 Orbs of Power is going to grant you that. We're going to combine Reaper, so anytime we do pop our class ability, our next weapon final blow spawns an Orb of Power. We need to be generating lots of Orbs of Power, and you can even swap out your chest mod for charged up if you're not going inside of a GM setting, so you can gain 4 stacks of armor charge stacks. We do have double bomber, so anytime we do use our class ability, that will just feed back into our grenade. Now that is the mods we are using. I will have a dim link in the description, and if you guys are enjoying the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. But let's jump straight into the Arc 3.0 subclass. We are using Thunder Crash combined with Thruster with Seismic Strike. Seismic Strike gives us the ability to stun unstoppable champions, so in this build he will have the capability to stun unstoppable champions and take care of anti-barrier champions. Picking up an Aura of Power will grant all your weapons the anti-barrier capability. Pulse grenades are what we are using. Pulse grenades do a lot of damage. Like I said, they do just as much damage as pre-nerf lightning storm grenades, but you have to place them down on a target. You cannot, they do not track, or they do not move at all. Touch of Thunder gives our pulse grenades the ability to create ionic trace, and it's going to increase in the damage over time as it ticks on the target. The next thing we do have is Knockout. Knockout is just going to make sure that anytime we are low health, it's going to increase our melee lunge range, and our melee lunge range, anytime we get a kill with our shoulder charge, it will grant us health back. Now let's go inside of the fragments. The fragments will be Spark of Magnitude, so our pulse grenades will have a longer and an extended duration, combined with Spark of Shock. Spark of Shock is going to give us the ability to jolt our targets. The next thing we do have is Spark of Discharge. Spark of Discharge makes sure that our arc weapon final blows have a chance to create an ionic trace. And the last thing we do have is Spark of Resistance. So when we are surrounded by combatants, we are resistant to more damage. Now, different weapons you can run with the setup will be the Symmetry Scout Rifle or even a Trinity Ghoul, but Cold Heart, I like that it's a trace rifle and you can just press it down and just get a lot of kills back to back consecutively. You don't really have to think about it. Like Blinding Grenade and Commemoration is the weapons we are using in this build to really synergize together, so we're just able to breach through any enemies, blind them, hit them with our pulse grenade, and then just switch our Commemoration or even our Cold Heart, deal a lot of damage, spawn ionic traces, feed it back into our grenade loop, and we're just able to consecutively spam all of our grenades. If you guys like the build, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys complete the GM.